Hey there, folks. Today, we're delving into some deep waters. I've got a question for you. What's the biggest regret you've ever made in your life? We're about to dive into some real talk because understanding our regrets can teach us some of life's most profound lessons. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's explore together.
Guys, what's the biggest regret you've ever made in your life? Deep one here, but I'm curious to see the responses.
Before we dive into these stories, let's remember that our regrets don't define us, they teach us. Let's see what are the biggest regrets in the comments section, and let's turn these moments into lessons that inspire growth.
Not being more social and asking out women in HS and college. I still don't know how to be social. Still have time. Most men aren't at their peak until their mid-30s. And for many they keep getting better even after that. I swear it's not as hard as you think. I was pretty antisocial and turned it around in my 30s. Now I'm very socially active, M55 plus. I'm still somewhat on the spectrum and don't empathize as well as I should. But I learned how to turn it around. Practice on randos. I mean every cashier, flight attendant, Uber driver, folks waiting for the bus, that guy stacking shelves in the grocery store, etc. is an opportunity to practice. Talk to them. Make jokes. Ask stupid questions. See what works. Get uncomfortable so you can be more comfortable. Give before you get. Offer something. Listen. Give of yourself. Be helpful. 8 or 10x it'll be a lost cause and folks won't reciprocate. That's okay. You'll make a real friend one of 10x and that's worth it. Go first. Tell a little about yourself. Be vulnerable and self-deprecating. Don't be defensive. It's just words. Smile and say hi to neighbors and folks at work and classmates and such. It's okay some people will think you're nuts, but someone will love it and strike up a conversation. Set a goal. I try to make one new friend a year. 365 days is a lot of days. You're gonna meet lots of people. If you make one friend a year, that's amazing. Books. I like How to Make Friends by Dale Carnegie and Influence by Cialdini. Great primers on how to talk to people. That makes me a huge success story then. I wasn't a normal child, and while I was worse before I turned 7, it was still very much there in the 7 to 15 years as well. I have ADHD and anxiety that was unmedicated until I was 9. It came to a head in 2014, aged 10 to 11, when I was suicidal for basically the entire year and had nobody who understood how I was feeling, and I was afraid to tell my parents or my therapist because I thought I would be sent away forever. From 2015 to 2017 I was better, but I tried to make up for the trauma of the lost year. Then I had to face reality that acting like you're 10 when you're almost 14 generally is very unlikable, and it took me almost 2 years to build myself up with the foundation to be social normally. That was freshman and sophomore year of high school. 2018 was really hard because I was so lonely and had bullying to deal with at school, but 2019 was when I finally got it. In the spring things finally clicked, and I wasn't bullied anymore and felt normal. And then in the fall after I finally began to address my 5-year-old trauma and began to heal. COVID obviously fucked everything up, but my time in college has really built me too. Especially 2022 to now. The hard times weren't traumatizing but instead formative, and my new friends helped me develop the skills I needed to function in the real world. The scars from a decade ago remain, but I'm now a fraternity president and have had multiple girlfriends in my time in college. I still feel like a weird kid and that I have moments, but I know I've made huge strides. I know what it's like to have nothing, and in a decade I've built an empire around myself from scratch. This is mine as well, 44M. So many women have approached me later in life and asked why I never made a move. I regret not being there for more people. I could have done more for people who have since passed, so I have no way to make things better with them. I think about that. I try to be there for people in my life now, so I know I was there for the people I care about. My biggest regret, not getting corrective surgery for my lazy eye sooner. It's sad because it taught me how important appearance is. Most people already kinda know this, but they don't know to which extent it matters. Having strabismus through my entire adolescence taught me it matters to the opposite gender. It matters to your coworkers and superiors, and it matters to everyone you meet. It changes the way they treat you, the opportunities you are given, and the entire trajectory of your life. The change in behavior toward me that I've seen ever since I got this surgery has been massive. It is definitely a good thing, but deep down it makes me sad. It's sad how much it matters, and it makes humans seem less human and more like predictable computers. It makes me feel empty down inside, but at least my family has always treated me the same. Same thing with losing weight. It's jarring how different the world treats you when you meet some of society's beauty standards. That one I feel like is more accepted here. I live in Latin America. There's obese people everywhere, but people just see it as an endearing trait. I feel like the ones who would really judge or reject you are potential romantic partners. I know quite a few people who lost weight and people or friends or acquaintances treat them the same. I feel like this might be a factor making the obesity crisis worse here. It's that people don't even see it as a problem. I guess some places are more strict about beauty standards than others. Female here, but I had a lazy eye through my adolescence too, and I had corrective surgery when I was 14, and it was literally life-changing. People are cruel. I was bullied relentlessly for it, so I would never make eye contact with people when I talked to them because I was so ashamed of it. It took years even after the surgery for me to muster up the courage to look people in the eye. I'm happy you got the surgery, and I'm glad life is looking better for you now. I just graduated from college having never made any close friends or having been in a relationship. I feel like I've missed the boat as far as developing social skills, and am worried that I'll be isolated for the rest of my life as a result. I made tons of friends during college, and none of them have attempted to contact me later on in life. Trust me, not many people keep friends around from that time. I'm a sophomore in college, and I was planning on not going out of my way to make friends or date or talk to anyone. Would you then say that's a bad idea? I was planning to make friends after college or find a relationship after college. I think there's still hope for you and me. Be nice if I made a bit more money, but I wouldn't change one thing, because that would totally change the trajectory that brought me a wife and kids. It's honestly nice that you have found peace. I'm 19 and hope I can find that kind of peace one day. Maybe if I have a family too, then I'll get there. But as for now, I feel like I have a lot of regrets in my life so far, hoping they lead somewhere eventually, not living below my means. Finally, someone who answers with a legitimate issue. You can live without love or women, but you cannot live without money. So many cushy, comfortable guys in here worried about me lonely when there's real issues like being dead broke.
Reflecting on life's biggest regrets often reveals profound lessons and personal growth. Others may regret decisions that hurt themselves or others, like neglecting relationships or making poor life choices. Let's read some more comments.
Probably wasting my life on a toxic, cheating woman, or just not taking control of my life sooner since I had strict religious parents who were clueless. Wasting a large lump sum of money I lucked into when I was 19. Overall though, while it sucks, it pales in comparison to what I'm grateful for. Now I'm fixing it, and I'm pretty sure this is a lot more work than not getting fat in the first place. Taking up smoking. My friend went from smoking cigarettes to vaping to hookah to quitting. Maybe try this. Thinking nice girls were boring and taking them for granted. It's not much to it. If you're smart, you want a nice girl. Someone who doesn't cause problems and stress. They're not boring, they're peaceful. I wasn't mature enough to realize this at the time. Dating a beautiful, caring, and kind woman. New relationship had moved fast, a few reservations, but no real problems. Broke up with her because my 4-year, on-again, off-again situationship burst back into my life with declarations of love and promises of commitment. Predictably, we broke up again soon after, not having begun working out earlier in life, not marrying my first girlfriend, not keeping the gal I was with during high school and off for years after in my life. I was too stupid and immature. Throughout the years, I had the chances to settle down with her and build a life and family. I ran every time. Now looking back on it through all these years, today is my birthday, so another year added. And no woman who's been in my life compares to her. I never will compare anyone from my past to anyone new who comes into it. But those very quiet moments of mental thought, it creeps in, usually when I'm single. I get you, man.
These reflections can evoke a sense of vulnerability and introspection, leading to greater self-awareness. Ultimately, discussing regrets can be a step towards healing and making more mindful decisions in the future. Let's continue reading.
Trying cocaine. Drinking and cocaine ruined my life. I turned this around though. Relapsed on Sunday, and the shame is overwhelming. Stay away, guys. Failure is a part of life. We don't always succeed in our goals, but dedication to them and not giving up on them. even when they seem impossible or we feel like quitting, is what gets us one step closer to them. Not marrying my first girlfriend. Not keeping the gal I was with during high school and off for years after in my life. I was too stupid and immature. Throughout the years I had the chances to settle down with her and build a life and family. I ran every time. Now looking back on it through all these years, today is my birthday, so another year added. And no woman who's been in my life compares to her. I never will compare anyone from my past to anyone new who comes into it. But those very quiet moments of mental thought, it creeps in, usually when I'm single. I get you, man. Well, people change as they get older, or situations or circumstances change, such as getting married, having kids, etc. There's a reason why divorce rates are so high among young couples that get hitched. It might have been great during high school, but that's likely the easiest and simplest phase of life you both would ever be in. Just something to think about. I let her go. This is one of the biggest regrets of my life. Moving 2,000 miles away for a guy, or spending an absurd amount of money on my ex or ex-friends. You live and you learn. Settling for anything, especially people. Not getting away from my toxic family a long time ago. Not being smart enough and finishing a computer science degree. However, I am content with life for the most part with where I've come. Letting my anxiety and stress consume me. Being more assertive and setting healthy boundaries rather than trying to love and care for my wife at the time. More when I knew she was cheating on me 2 different times in the past 4 years. Not sure if doing that early on would have saved my marriage, but I know I would be in a far healthier mindset than where I am at right now, as I am going through therapy for the past 10 months.
As we wrap up, remember that life is a journey filled with twists, turns, and yes, regrets. But each misstep is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become the person we're meant to be. So, embrace your regrets, learn from them, and keep moving forward with wisdom and resilience. Subscribe for more.